I received a game key for Wizordum from Apogee Entertainment for review purposes. Wizordum is a retro-inspired fantasy FPS developed by Emberheart Games and published by Apogee Entertainment, with Infogrames handling the console editions. It first released on PC via Steam on April 29th of 2025 before expanding to consoles on September 23rd of 2025. A love letter to the classics of the 1990s, Wizordum blends the fast-paced combat of Doom with the dark fantasy atmosphere of Hexen, while adding a layer of exploration and magical variety that gives it a personality all its own. The story sets the stage without overcomplicating things. Players step into the role of a lone mage from the ancient sanctuary of Wizordum, one of the last spellcasters left after the mystical seal of Terrabruma shatters. The broken seal unleashes chaos across the land, spreading corruption, mercenaries, and malevolent forces from the northern mountains. The Order of the Dawn has already failed to contain the threat, leaving the mage as Terrabruma's last hope. Beginning in the town of Grimbrook, armed with a mace and basic spells, you venture across swamps, frozen peaks, and ruined castles in search of the corruption's source. While the narrative is straightforward, more functional than compelling, it provides enough purpose and world building to contextualize the action and tie the environments together. Where Wizordum shines brightest is in its gameplay. Structured across 3 episodes with 21 levels in total, the game balances breakneck combat with a surprising emphasis on exploration. Levels are sprawling and labyrinthine, filled with keys, puzzles, traps, and a wealth of secrets tucked behind breakable walls or hidden passages. At times, the design can be confusing or overly lengthy, especially in the early chapter, but the later episodes show more restraint and refinement, leading to tighter pacing. The checkpoint system occasionally frustrates, sending you back further than you expected, but given the game's relatively forgiving difficulty on most settings, this setback rarely proves insurmountable. Combat is fast, crunchy, and highly enjoyable, even if it rarely demands deep strategy. A vast arsenal of weapons and spells, ranging from elemental staves and lightning gauntlets to crossbows, bombs, cloaks, and scrolls, offers plenty of variety. Each weapon often has a secondary mode or upgrade, and combinations like freezing enemies before shattering them add flair to encounters. That said, because enemies drop quickly and movement is snappy, the basic weapons often suffice, leaving much of the more elaborate arsenal feeling optional rather than essential. Still, the breadth of tools provides room for experimentation and ensures no 2 playthroughs feel exactly alike. The adventure side of Wizordum is equally important. Its maps are designed to loop back on themselves in satisfying ways, encouraging players to revisit areas with newfound keys or items. Hidden shrines and entire secret levels reward curiosity, giving completionists and secret hunters plenty to chase. Occasionally, puzzles border on trial and error and can slow the flow, but they also reinforce the game's blend of shooter and adventure DNA. Visually, Wizordum strikes a strong balance between retro inspiration and modern flair. Its pixelated fantasy aesthetic is colorful, bold, and brimming with personality. The enemy designs are varied, from corrupted cultists to hulking beasts, and the visual effects for spells make combat feel energetic. Audio design supports this well, with punchy weapon sounds and crunchy destruction effects giving feedback real weight. The soundtrack leans towards sweeping fantasy orchestration rather than pure retro chiptune, which may surprise traditionalists, but the quality is undeniable and elevates the atmosphere considerably. Wizardum extends its life with speedrun-friendly design, online leaderboards, and a built-in level editor on PC for custom content. The inclusion of multiple classes adds replay value by offering different starting weapons and abilities that alter how levels flow. For fans of experimentation and community-driven content, these features give Wizardum staying power beyond a single playthrough. Wizardum succeeds as both a nostalgic callback and a modernized fantasy FPS in its own right. It captures the thrill of the 90s shooter era while injecting enough new ideas, like secret-laden maps, magical arsenals, and replay systems, to feel fresh. Some issues with pacing, checkpoint placement, and item bloat hold it back slightly, but they don't diminish the overall enjoyment. This is a game that embraces its identity fully and delivers a magical, action-packed experience from start to finish. Wizardum is one of the most enjoyable boomer shooters in recent memory. It's accessible enough for newcomers, nostalgic enough for veterans, and expansive enough to keep players coming back for more. Whether you're blasting through enemies with a lightning gauntlet, uncovering a secret shrine, or racing against the clock on leaderboards, Wizardum consistently entertains. For anyone who grew up with Doom, Heretic, or Hexen, or for anyone looking for a gateway into that style of FPS, this spell-slinging adventure is easy to recommend. I give Wizardum a 9 out of 10.